Were you the primary decision maker?
I was.
Were you the person responsible for much of the direct patient care?
Yes.
When Mr. Floyd was brought in, would you describe it as an emergency situation?
Yes, absolutely.
What was his condition in terms of his cardiac condition?
He was in cardiac arrest.
And does cardiac arrest mean that he had had a heart attack, or what does that mean?
Not necessarily. Cardiac arrest is defined as sudden cessation of blood flow to all the tissues of the body when the heart stops pumping, typically as evidenced by absence of a carotid pulse.
Did you consider the possibility of toxins, for example, being responsible for Mr. Floyd's cardiac arrest, including potentially drugs?
In the sense that it might have informed our care, yes. There was, again, no report that this patient had, for example, overdosed on a specific medication. And so in that sense, I didn't feel that there was a specific toxin that we could give a medication for that would readily reverse his arrest. I also considered an acidosis, in particular excited delirium, which is a controversial diagnosis, but it was in the differential in this case. Certainly there was no report that the patient was ever very sweaty, which is often the case when thinking about excited delirium. There was no report that the patient had ever been, that Mr. Floyd had ever been extremely agitated.
And at the end of the 30 minutes, did you pronounce him formally dead?
Yes.
And doctor, was your leading theory then for the cause of Mr. Floyd's cardiac arrest oxygen deficiency?
That was one of the more likely possibilities. I felt that at the time, based on the information I had, it was more likely than the other possibilities.
And doctor, is there another name for death by oxygen deficiency?
Asphyxia is a commonly understood term.
Thank you, Dr. Langenfeld. No further questions.